He was the Prince of Darkness to the world, but to her, he was simply Ozzy. And now, as the world says goodbye to one of rock's greatest legends, Sharon Osbourne opens up about the man behind the madness and the love story that not even death can erase. Ozzy Osbourne is gone. He passed away peacefully at 76, surrounded by his closest family. The world will remember the music, the wild stories, the chaos and controversy. But Sharon? She remembers the man, the broken, beautiful soul who stole her heart when neither of them was looking for love. Their journey didn't begin like a fairy tale. When Sharon first met Ozzy, he was fronting Black Sabbath, a band exploding in popularity and drowning in everything fame had to offer. Drugs, noise, late nights, destruction. And Ozzy was at the center of it all. He was a whirlwind, Sharon said. I wasn't supposed to fall in love with someone like him, but I did. And I never looked back. Sharon's father, Don Arden, managed Black Sabbath in the early days. That's how they met. She was young, fiercely independent, and trying to make a name for herself. Ozzy, on the other hand, was unpredictable, wild, and barely holding his life together. But somewhere beneath the madness, she saw something no one else did: vulnerability, softness, and a desperate need to be loved for who he really was. He was loud, outrageous, even terrifying sometimes, she admitted in a quiet interview years ago. But when it was just the two of us, it was different. He had this gentleness to him. He needed saving. And maybe I needed someone to save too. They married in 1982. It wasn't easy. In fact, it was chaos. Ozzy was spiraling into addiction, battling demons that fame only made worse. But Sharon never left his side. Through overdoses, breakdowns, relapses, and arrests, she fought for him when he couldn't fight for himself. I've never been ashamed of loving him, she once said. Even when it hurt. Even when it almost broke me. And it did hurt. Ozzy's addictions nearly destroyed their family. He admitted to violence, to darkness, to being someone he hated looking at in the mirror. But Sharon stayed. She fought, cried, screamed, and then fought again. Their marriage was a battlefield. But it was also where they learned the true meaning of devotion. In the midst of all the pain, they raised a family. 3 children, Amy, Kelly, and Jack, who saw the worst and the best of their parents. And somehow the Osbournes didn't just survive, they became icons. In the early 2000s, their reality show gave the world an unfiltered look into their lives. And what people saw wasn't just celebrity drama, it was real love, messy love. The kind that doesn't give up when things get ugly. When Ozzy was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease in 2020, the world watched him grow frail. The man who once leapt across stages and screamed into stadiums now struggled to walk. But he still performed. Still gave what little strength he had to the fans who never stopped loving him. His final show, just weeks before his death, was a seated performance, 9 songs sung from a throne. It was raw, heartbreaking, and beautiful. Sharon was there, watching the man she loved do what he was born to do one last time. And when he passed, it was with her by his side. He was the love of my life, she said quietly. He always will be. In interviews since his death, Sharon has spoken more candidly about their love than ever before. We weren't perfect. Not even close. But we were real. And that man gave me everything, even when he had nothing left to give. She says she'll remember his laugh first, the way it lit up a room. Then his voice, not the one the world heard in concerts, but the one that whispered to her in the quiet. The voice that said, I love you, even when he could barely speak. Ozzy Osbourne wasn't just a rock star. He was a husband, a father, a fighter. And to Sharon, he was the broken angel she chose over and over again, no matter how hard it got. Now, as the world lays their flowers, lights their candles, and sings his songs one more time, Sharon is simply holding on to the man she loved. Not the legend, not the icon, but the man. And for her, that love story hasn't ended. It's just waiting until they meet again. Rest in peace, Ozzy. The world saw your madness. Sharon saw your soul. And she loved you all the way through.